Welcome to the Short Stories, your perfect escape into a world of imagination, inspiration, and wonder. On this channel, we bring you captivating 10-minute tales that fit perfectly into your busy day, whether you're commuting, taking a break, or just need a moment to unwind and relax. Our stories are here to inspire and entertain you. Now let us dive into our today's story. The Horror of Blackwood Apartment. David had been struggling with depression for what felt like an eternity. The loss of his job, the breakup with his girlfriend, and the detachment from his family had taken a heavy toll on his mental health. He felt like he was drowning in his own sorrows, with no lifeline in sight. Every day was a constant reminder of his failures, and he couldn't help but wonder if he would ever find a way out of the darkness that had consumed him. One day, while wandering aimlessly on the streets, David stumbled upon a business card. It belonged to a wealthy entrepreneur, Mr. Smith, who was known for his ruthless dealings. The card had a simple message: make your problems disappear. Meet me at my office. Desperate for a solution, David decided to take a chance. He had tried everything else, from therapy to medication, but nothing seemed to be working. Maybe, just maybe, this was the answer he had been searching for. Mr. Smith greeted David with a warm smile and led him to his lavish office. After listening to David's woes, Mr. Smith proposed an offer: stay 3 nights in my apartment, and I'll clear all your debts, get you a new job, and reunite you with your family. All I need is your bravery. The offer seemed too good to be true, but David was desperate. He was willing to do anything to escape the misery that had become his life. David, blinded by desperation, agreed to the deal without hesitation. Mr. Smith handed him the keys to the Blackwood apartment, a grand, ancient building on the outskirts of town. The apartment was rumored to be haunted, but David didn't believe it. He was convinced that the stories were just small-town legend. As David entered the apartment, a chill ran down his spine. The air inside was thick with the stench of decay, and the shadows seemed to writhe like living things. He tried to shrug off the feeling, thinking it was just his imagination. But as he explored the apartment, he began to realize that he was not alone. There were noises, creaks, and groans that seemed to come from nowhere. David tried to convince himself that it was just the old building settling, but deep down, he knew it was something more. The first night was a blur of creepy noises and unsettling visions. David began to feel like he was losing his grip on reality. The shadows seemed to move of their own accord, and he could have sworn he saw things out of the corner of his eye. He tried to tell himself it was just his imagination, but the fear was real. The second night was worse, with disembodied whispers and footsteps that seemed to come from nowhere. By the third night, David was a nervous wreck, but he refused to back down, thinking that the end of his suffering was near. It was then that the ghosts came out to play. Apparitions of vengeful spirits, their faces twisted in agony, began to manifest before David's eyes. He tried to flee, but the doors were sealed, trapping him inside. The spirits closed in, their icy breath on his neck, and David's screams were drowned out by the sound of his own sanity shattering. The next morning, the police found David's lifeless body in the Blackwood apartment. The investigation concluded that he had died of a heart attack, but the truth was far more sinister. David's spirit, now a ghost, was trapped inside the apartment, reliving the horrors he had faced. And then, something unexpected happened. David's ghost began to remember the traumatic events of his past, the pain and suffering he had endured. The emotion simmered, building up into a raging storm, and David's ghost vowed to take revenge on the man who had led him to this fate. One night, Mr. Smith received an unexpected visit from David's vengeful spirit. The entrepreneur's screams were music to David's ghostly ears as he watched his tormentor beg for mercy. In a fitting twist of fate, David's ghost killed Mr. Smith, trapping his spirit inside the apartment, where it would join the other restless souls. Weeks later, Emily, a skilled ghost hunter, received a cryptic message from an anonymous source. The message read, "Blackwood Apartment. Come alone." Emily's curiosity was piqued, and she decided to investigate. She had been dealing with the paranormal for years and had earned a reputation as one of the best in the business. As she entered the apartment, Emily felt an eerie presence. She began to explore, setting up her equipment, and soon discovered that the apartment was a hub of paranormal activity. Emily was not afraid; she had dealt with malevolent spirits before. She was determined to get to the bottom of the mystery and help the trapped souls find peace. With her expertise, Emily started to eliminate the ghosts one by one, freeing their trapped souls. As she delved deeper, she discovered the dark history of the apartment and the sinister intentions of Mr. Smith. She realized that the apartment was a nexus of evil, a place where the living and the dead coexisted in a world of horror. Finally, Emily confronted David's ghost. But instead of attacking her, David's spirit revealed the truth about Mr. Smith's betrayal and his own tragic fate. Emily listened, and with compassion, helped David's ghost find peace. She performed a ritual to release his spirit, and David was finally able to move on. As the last ghost disappeared, Emily realized that she had been sent by Mr. Smith's wife, Sarah, who had grown tired of her husband's nefarious dealings. Sarah had hoped that Emily would cleanse the apartment of its dark energy and bring justice to the victims. Emily had succeeded, and the Blackwood apartment was finally free from its horrors. With the apartment finally at peace, Emily left, knowing that she had saved countless lives. The apartment, once a symbol of terror, had become a testament to the power of redemption and the importance of facing the darkness head-on. The memory of David and the other victims would live on, a reminder of the horrors that had taken place within the Blackwood apartment's walls. And that's the story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends to spread the joy. We're here to bring you a daily dose of dopamine with our stories, so don't forget to subscribe. Because at the Short Stories, every tale is crafted to make your day brighter. See you in the next story.